How to lose belly fat. This is a very common question amongst men. And in this video, I'm going to talk you through exactly what you need to know to lose belly fat. So make sure you stay tuned. What's going on, and welcome back to another video. So let's start with what we would think. Initially, what we think when we think of belly fat, we think of abs and we think of, let's train them a bit more. Let's train the core a bit more.
In the morning, if my face is a little puffy, I'll put on an ice pack while doing my stomach crunches. I can do 1,000 now.
Well, maybe you don't think of that, but a lot of the time I see people in an effort to lose belly fat, what they'll do is they'll start training their abs more. So let's look at that. Let's look at spot reduction. So what spot reduction assumes is that you can target a specific area or train a specific area and lose fat from that specific area. So a 2011 study actually found that an abdominal program did not cause any additional fat loss than a program without an abdominal routine in it. And the calories were controlled as well. The calories were exactly the same within the study. A 2013 study looked at the possibility of spot reduction. Participants did a high repetition leg press with one leg without training the other leg. The trained leg did not lose any more body fat than the untrained leg. In 2007, Kostek et al. Used a similar study design and found no greater fat loss in the strength-trained arm than the non-exercised arm using MRI measurements to assess body fat. There are some more studies too, but this video is not about spot reduction. So we can kind of assume and be pretty sure that spot reduction is not possible. Anyway, based on the research we have. However, a 2021 study by Paoli et al. Actually found that a strength endurance circuit focused more around abdominal work actually saw greater reductions in belly fat over the circuit that did not contain the abdominal exercise. While that's obviously interesting, extremely interesting, in fact, we have to remember this was a very, very small scale study and done only on 7 people. So before we make any firm deductions and say, okay, wait, wow, the new research says that spot reduction is possible, we should wait for additional research, and it's probably not your best bet. You shouldn't spend your time chasing spot reduction. So when it comes to losing belly fat, your best bet is to just focus on being in a calorie deficit, just like when you lose body fat from any other place, and you've got to focus on overall body fat loss. And once you do that, you will eventually see your abdominals. You will see your abs come through and you will see your belly fat reducing significantly. And a good way to be in a calorie deficit is obviously eating less and moving more, a combination between both of them even. And my preference, obviously, to train is to do resistance training. You're going to build more muscle and you're going to look better overall. And to actually see your abs, you've got to be around 8 to 12% body fat. This obviously varies between individuals, but that's a rough range to give you some guidance of when you're going to start seeing those abdominals pop through. And you have to also bear in mind that the fat cells in the abdominal area are actually quite a bit different. They're more stubborn, they're harder to shift, and they have less blood flow, which also again makes them harder to shift. But as you get leaner through time, and that's obviously going to take time, it's going to take patience, and this could just be a extra stubborn area for you even, you'll get more blood flow to the area and it'll be a bit easier to lose that belly fat. That's why you will experience, and maybe you have experienced, when you get down to a certain point, it feels easier to shift that belly fat, and when you get above a certain point, it seems harder to shift. But honestly, just be patient, take your time. And also, I know we said that spot reduction is not possible, and I'm not saying it is. I highly doubt it is anyway, but do still train your abdominals. The reason being is you need to build the muscle underneath. And the more muscle you build underneath, obviously to a point, you're going to see your abdominals sooner. And also when you do shed all the body fat, all the belly fat, you're going to see the abdominals pop through, and that's exactly what you want to see. I'm pretty sure you're watching this video because you want a lean six-pack. You want to be able to see your abdominals, so you need to train them in a way where you can progressively overload. If you keep just doing crunches and you're not loading those crunches, it's hard to track your progress and see whether you're putting the muscle on through even a progressive amount of stress in order for it to adapt, grow. And as far, I know what you're thinking anyway, as far as macronutrients are concerned, just make sure that protein's high, protein's between 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. If you're in a significant calorie deficit, then between 1.2 to 1.4 grams per pound of body weight. And I would as well make sure that fats are about 25%, just to make sure, well, I'd say minimum 25%, to make sure you're producing enough hormones and, you know, just in the healthiest state possible. So that's all for this video. If you've got any questions at all, comment below. And until the next video, keep pushing those limits.